Upon Wall Street, written by the legendary investor who never recorded losses in his 13 years at Fidelity Investments, is often referred as the Bible of stock investment recommended by many financial experts. Through the introduction of this book, Peter Lynch talks about the disruptive innovation that shook the world in his days, the Internet, Apple and Microsoft. This is when the infamous dot-com bubble rose and fell. It was a period when, if a company named blah-blah.com went public, it shot to the moon and then Mars and then out of the solar system, even if it had absolutely no fundamentals whatsoever. Even if it was only a website and nothing else, the market did not care and shouted buy, buy. Although it cannot be exactly the same, today's market does not seem that different from the dot-com bubble period. But as you can see in the graph above, the dot-com bubble went on for a considerable period of time, for more than 5 years. However, a catastrophe devastated the market as the Nasdaq plunged from 5,048 to 1,114. If we set the number in the x-axis to the present, since we're in October 2020, we could say just for fun that we are about on the line drawn on the graph. The mainstream disruptive innovation currently in development is no doubt electrification of transport and autonomous driving. So we could imagine that another bubble is developing upon this new technology sector. If this current heat in the market really does turn into a bubble and turns out to be similar to the dot-com bubble, this current bull market could go on for years on into 2025 or even further. The correction happening from this September may seem big now, but it actually could be a very small correction period like the red circles on the graph above. Overall, it could be a very big bull run up to the peak. As you can see with this historic example, many other historic bubbles show similar patterns, by the way. Disruptive innovation is proven to be very, very powerful in the stock market. So what would Peter Lynch say if he was investing today? In One Upon Wall Street, Peter Lynch explains his experience in the dot-com bubble market. First of all, when one is investing in a company, one needs to calculate the market cap of the company by multiplying the number of stocks with the price of each share. For example, if the total number of shares of a company is 1 billion and the price of each share is $100, then the market cap is $100 billion. Every investor anticipates a market cap increase when they start to invest in a certain company. If another investor buys that stock at a higher price, the market cap increases and so does your profit. So, if you want to make your investment a 10-bagger, the market cap of that company must increase by 10. If the target market cap is set, then the question you should ask yourself is, how much does the company need to earn in order to sustain its market cap of 100 billion? If we apply a typical PER, price per earnings ratio, of a highly grown stock in a heated market, we could say we need around 40 times of the current earnings. If we look at Tesla, for example, the current PER of Tesla is around 1,000, and this means that it will take 1,000 years to pay off the market cap with current earnings of Tesla. Of course, in this view, one could say Tesla is disgustingly overvalued, but considering the future potential of Tesla, the current valuation of Tesla using PER could be very misleading. Back to the dot-com bubble example. To pay off 100 billion market cap, the company needs to earn $2,500 million per year. Companies who recorded this kind of earnings are giants such as Microsoft. In other words, unless you pick the right company, this would be very hard to achieve. There are 3 ways to invest in dot-com companies without FOMO, fear of missing out in this bull or bubble market, according to Peter Lynch. First of all, there is the old axe and shovel strategy. In the Golden Rush age, many dreamers returned home empty-handed, and the people who made actual money was the axe and shovel suppliers and also Levi Strauss by selling huge amounts of jeans. This can even apply for today. We can search for outside companies who make profit in this disruptive innovation industry. Peter Lynch at the time was interested in delivery companies or internet equipment manufacturers. Second way Peter Lynch focused on was free internet stocks. This refers to actual offline companies with reasonable stock prices which have online business sectors. If the new online sector starts to work up to its expectations, we could hand investors a fair amount of profit. Third way was investing in companies making passive profit from the internet. For example, companies started using the internet to manage supplies and marketing, and as a result, reducing operation costs and making more actual profit in return. Time will tell which company will turn out to be the giant in the disruptive innovation industry. The same applied for the internet industry, and Peter Lynch goes on to talk about a 100-bagger stock he missed out on, which is Microsoft. Microsoft, along with Intel, recorded explosive earnings from the start. In 1986, Microsoft went public at 15 cents per share. Even after 3 years, people could still buy Microsoft with less than $1 per share. After that, Microsoft skyrocketed 80 times from that price. Even then, people were shouting out, "Prove yourself" to Microsoft, and they did that with Windows 95. After then, people hopped on late to the investment of Microsoft. Nevertheless, they still managed to make 10 times of their investment. Of course, in order to lock in profit from the investment of Microsoft, investors needed to go through a wild rollercoaster ride of the stock market. People who made it through the storm didn't lose faith in the company even at hard times. This will apply for the past, present, and future onwards. We are currently living in an era of overwhelming information shouting at us for attention. The news articles, YouTube videos, TV, Twitter, the internet, and so on. For us to not drown in this flood of information, Peter Lynch advises investors to check on the market every 6 months, just as if you were checking your engine oil of your car. Pessimists always went on and on about why this will not work and this is going to collapse and so on, and they always will. Even at the best times, they keep saying there is a crisis. You don't need to be fearful from these negative shout-outs, because in most cases, they actually end up turning pretty well. Furthermore, Peter Lynch points out that amateurs actually have the advantage in regards to this kind of investment perspective. Amateurs do not have a deadline or a ticking time bomb, unlike Wall Street, so amateurs can be much more patient on the companies they have faith in, and this can be very much rewarded. Up to this point, we talked about what kind of market we could be in and how to deal with such conditions with the help of the legendary fund manager, Peter Lynch. The next video will be about how to pick out our next 10-bagger stock and how to manage it to make the best profits. So, did you find any interest in this video? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you found the video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you stuck to the end of this video, I thank you so much. You're an absolute sunshine, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Peace.